Hello, I'm out here with Goobie and we're enjoying the shade of this wonderful tree. Thank you, tree. It is a hot day and we've been hiking, so we're just cooling off. Now, as part of the TV channel, YouTube channel, um, a number of episodes that I've made have been in response to questions that viewers have asked in the comments. And I don't intend to answer all the questions that people ask, but some of them I find very, very interesting. And so, this episode, I would like to read something that someone wrote on this channel, and they had a question, and I'm gonna do my best to answer it to the best of my ability. Doesn't mean that my answer is correct or better or worse than other people. It's just my answer. That's how I think of things as a human being. Before we start, here's Doobie, and she is just smelling the grass. All right, so just adjusting the camera, and we'll read this comment. This comment says, "Hey Goobie, you probably won't see this, but I did. But hey, if you do, thank you for your channel and presence. I'm 18, almost 19, and I'll admit I know nothing." Is that true? Well, we'll find out here shortly. "This world terrifies me, and I'm so scared to grow up. I graduated last summer, and it's now 1 year later, and I'm still just as lost. Everyone I know is in university, while I'm at home like some loser pondering my days away. I don't come from a family with money either, so everything I must want in life I must work for. But how must I work for freedom and nature?" Wow. That's a good question. How must I work for freedom and nature? Well, immediately, that's not the end, but immediately reading that, I'm like, this kid knows something. It's not true that they know nothing, like they said. All right, so let's go on. "I see everyone going to university and think, how? I see everyone working a job, driving a car, living in a house, having kids, and I think, why and how? To me, it seems so artificial, this life we call life, quotation marks, nowadays. Money is going obsolete, everyone's broke, cost of living is so high. There's a huge housing shortage crisis, and homes are beyond costly. Feeding yourself is a luxury. And everything around me is AI or consumerism or just total BS that doesn't matter. I feel out of place in this life, like a wild animal grown up in a zoo cage, always fighting the itch to break through the glass of the cage and escape. I feel this overwhelming feeling to resort to being human. My feet crave the touch of soft beds of grass, my ears crave the sound of birds, my legs want to run like a wild gazelle, and my soul wants to breathe the breath of life. However, instead, I'm forced to wake up, work, come home, prepare for work tomorrow, pay bills, sleep, repeat, forever. How must I become okay with this, Goobie? I feel like I'm dying inside. I think my soul may die on me before my body. I know this is more deeper than a "I'm 18 and I don't know what to do" type of comment or question, but it's sincere. What must I do with these feelings? Wow. Well, this is from Cassie Crowley 596. Well, my first impression is you know a lot already. You probably know a lot more than a lot of people. Well, I think everyone has these feelings, but I think what you choose to do with them is what makes what kind of person you are and what kind of life you're going to live. Well, first, your question, what must I do with these feelings? I don't think there is a must. I don't think there's a should. I think there's only what you choose to do. There is, like, you have the choice. You have the free will to choose what you want to do with those feelings. And there's a lot of choices. So let's see. What are some choices? Well, what I think most people do is they stuff away those feelings in a basement, and then they put a padlock on the door, and then they bury the door underneath a layer of cement. And then they paint over it, and they put a carpet over it so that they don't try to not to remember that it's even there. I think that's what most people do, and that's how they can go about this life, like you were saying, with the consumerism and going to a job day in, day out, and that's all you do. And I think that's how most people function. Is that how most people must function? I think must is not the right question. That's how most people choose to function. Now, are there other ways? Well, this way of life definitely has serious downsides. We are part of a totalitarian agricultural system that is run by wealthy people. The majority of people are not wealthy, and they are essentially worker bees for this system. And we're told all kinds of stories to feel good about it, being a worker bee in this system. But when you look around, you're like, wait, this doesn't really make me feel good. All these stories tell me I should feel good. I should feel good that I have a house and a car, and I've got a job that I can keep going to, and it keeps paying me. And I can go on vacation like once or twice a year, and I should feel good about that. But I don't feel so good. But I'm going to stuff that feeling in the basement and lock it away, because everyone around me is doing it. So I must be something must be wrong with me. Well, I think that's what most people do. I think that's what Cassie is referring to, amongst other things. I mean, Cassie asks, how must I work for freedom and nature? That's a great question. Because this way of life does not work for freedom or nature. It works for enslavement of people and other living beings for the profit of the few. So that is against the freedom of the majority of people. It works for the freedom of the wealthy people. And it definitely doesn't work for nature, because it degrades nature. It cuts down forests to grow all these crops. You don't need to do that. But you couldn't have this many people around if you did it a different way. If you live like humans did for the majority of our existence, for 290,000 years of the 300,000 years, we'd be walking around the forest with all the trees, eating different types of foods, plants, animals, fungi, and there is not enough food to have 8.2 billion people around doing it that way. It's just a different way. But this way definitely is not working for nature, because it's cutting down forests, is removing the home of wild animals and wild fungi and plants. It's destroying our own ecosystem that eventually will destroy us too. So going to work for this economic system is not going to work for nature or freedom. It is enslaving yourself and destroying what we have. So, what can you do? Well, that's a good question, Cassie. I've been trying to figure that out myself. What do we do? Well, when you have feelings like this, you can repress them, you can suppress them, which means you consciously lock them away. I think repress means you subconsciously, you don't consciously do it, you just do it. But what happens when you do that is those bad feelings, they ooze out some other way. Even though you poured cement over them and you locked them away, they ooze out a different way, and then they come back in some odd way but related, adjacent way, to wreck your life. I've seen that in my own life and in watching biographies of other people. So I think a better way to do it is to look at those feelings head on and accept them and choose to do something with them. There's many different things you can do. You can choose to ameliorate the cause of those symptoms or those feelings. But that's hard when we're going against a culture, a civilization that has been going on for millennia, multiple millennia. And there's so many people and there's so many vested interests. That's hard. What can you do? Well, in some ways you can deal with those feelings without directly addressing the problem, is sublimate them. You can sublimate them in art or creation, like write a song, write in a journal, talk to somebody, tell a story, make a story. Tell a story that is of your life, that you don't even have to make something up. It's just something you lived. Make art, make a painting, write a book, tell a joke. You can sublimate through humor. George Carlin, I didn't realize until recently, knew all these things that I've been talking about in this channel decades before me, and he chose to talk about them in the form of humor. And people laughed at it. They laughed really hard. Stories are really important for forming the society and the culture. So that's what I do with this channel, is I focus on the stories, because I think stories form the structure of our consciousness, our social consciousness, the consciousness of our society. And that's what I do. That's what I've chosen to do, not what I must do, what I choose to do with my life. For other people, it might be something different. It might be trying to work on some scientific inquiry into how the world works, or what's changing on the planet, or what we might be able to do to help things out. Studying the life around us, being out in the forest. You don't have to do anything. You can just be alive. You can just be alive and appreciate being alive. That's probably like way more than a lot of people are doing. Appreciating being alive. What else can you do with the feelings? You can convert them into action. Well, again, that's hard, but not impossible. What actions could you do? Yeah, you could take care of the local environment around you. You can talk with people that are in the community. You can create a community. You can support the community. You can develop solidarity with your community. You can find like-minded people to tell a different story than what most people believe and hear and are told. Will that change things? I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, I would say the most important thing is to accept those feelings and address them and feel them, and examine where they come from. Not run from them. And it's not a must, it's a choose. Let's see, is there anything else I want to say about that? Oh, yeah, I would say that you are an excellent writer. Gosh, your words are very powerful. You tell a very good story. maybe writing is something that you'd be very good at. And then you could work for freedom and nature by writing stories and telling stories. I was very impressed by your writing. Well, I am grateful that you wrote to this channel, and that's the best I can do at this time of answering that question. If I think of something better to answer that question later, I will make another video. Thanks for writing, Cassie. Bye.